The phone buzzing in the audience wasn't supposed to change everything, but when Ellen saw the panic flash across the woman's face as she read the text message, she knew this interview was about to become something much more important than promoting Hugh Jackman's latest movie. The Ellen DeGeneres Show studio radiated its usual warmth this Tuesday afternoon in Burbank. 350 audience members filled the iconic blue-lit space, their excitement palpable as they prepared to meet one of Hollywood's most beloved stars. Hugh Jackman sat in the guest chair, looking effortlessly charismatic in a navy blazer over a crisp white shirt, his genuine smile lighting up the stage as he discussed his upcoming film project. Ellen, stunning in a tailored burgundy blazer with silver accents that caught the studio lights perfectly, was thoroughly enjoying their conversation about fatherhood, creativity, and the challenges of balancing a global career with family life. "Hugh, you've always been so open about putting family first," Ellen said, leaning forward with the genuine curiosity that had made her America's most trusted talk show host. "How do you manage that when your career takes you all over the world?" Hugh's expression grew thoughtful, his Australian accent warm as he reflected on the question. "Ellen, it's honestly the hardest part of what I do. You know, people see the glamour, the red carpets, the amazing opportunities, but they don't see you FaceTiming your kids from a hotel room in Prague at 3 in the morning, trying to help them with homework, while you're battling jet lag and missing their school play." The audience nodded knowingly, many of them working parents who understood the universal struggle of balancing career demands with family responsibilities. Hugh's honesty and vulnerability had always been part of his appeal, his willingness to show that even movie stars grappled with the same challenges as everyone else. But Ellen's attention was suddenly divided. In the fourth row, slightly right of center, a woman in her 40s was staring at her phone with an expression of pure terror. The device was vibrating insistently in her hands, and Ellen watched as the woman's face went from confusion to alarm to what looked like barely controlled panic. "Family always comes first," Hugh continued, unaware of the drama unfolding in the audience. "I've learned that no role, no movie, no opportunity is worth missing the important moments with the people you love. Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters, right? Being there when your family needs you." The woman in the fourth row stood up abruptly, her phone pressed to her ear, her voice just loud enough for Ellen's trained ears to catch fragments of what sounded like a medical emergency. Ellen's maternal instincts, honed by decades of connecting with people in crisis, immediately kicked into high gear. "Hugh," Ellen said gently, "can I pause you for just a moment?" The unexpected interruption caused a ripple of confusion through the studio. Hugh looked puzzled but nodded, sensing that something important was happening. The cameras remained on Ellen as she stood up and walked toward the audience. "Ma'am," Ellen called out softly to the distressed woman, "is everything okay?" The woman looked up, mortified to realize she had become the center of attention. 43-year-old Sarah Chen, a registered nurse from Los Angeles, was clutching her phone like a lifeline while tears began streaming down her face. "I'm so sorry," Sarah whispered, her voice barely audible. "I didn't mean to disrupt anything. It's my mother. She's had another fall, and the care facility is saying they can't handle her anymore. They want me to come get her right now, but I'm working double shifts just to afford her care, and I don't know what to do." The raw desperation in Sarah's voice hit the studio like a physical force. This wasn't just embarrassment about a phone call during a taping. This was a woman drowning in the impossible reality of caring for an aging parent while trying to survive financially. Hugh Jackman, who had been listening intently from his chair, suddenly stood up. "Sarah," he said, his voice carrying across the studio with unexpected gentleness, "how long have you been taking care of your mother?" Sarah looked stunned that this Hollywood superstar was addressing her directly, but something in Hugh's tone invited honesty. 3 years, she said, her voice shaking. Since her dementia got too bad for her to live alone, I moved her from our family home in San Francisco to a memory care facility here in LA so I could be closer, but the costs are eating me alive. I work 16-hour shifts as a nurse, and every penny goes to her care. Ellen sat down in the empty chair beside Sarah, her burgundy blazer creating a stark contrast against the theater seating. "Sweetheart, tell us what happened today." Sarah's composure crumbled completely as 3 years of impossible choices came pouring out. She fell this morning and became agitated when staff tried to help her. The director says Mom tried to leave, insisting she needed to go cook dinner for my father, who's been dead 15 years. When redirected, she became combative, which isn't like her. They want her moved out by Friday. Sarah wiped her eyes with trembling hands. The specialized facilities want $12,000 a month up front, plus a $20,000 deposit. I'm working double shifts and already spend $4,000 monthly on her current care, which is my entire take-home pay. I sold my car, take the bus to work, live on ramen noodles, and it's still not enough. The desperation in her voice was palpable, carrying the exhaustion of someone who had been fighting an unwinnable battle for years. The worst part is that on her good days, she still knows me. She'll look at me and say, "Misha, you look tired. Are you taking care of yourself?" And I have to lie and say everything's fine while I'm trying to figure out how to keep her in a place where she's safe and loved. Hugh walked down from the stage and into the audience, abandoning his celebrity perch entirely. He knelt down in front of Sarah's seat, his movie star presence secondary to his very human compassion. "Sarah, my father Christopher had dementia for 5 years before he passed," Hugh said quietly. "I understand the guilt, the financial strain, the feeling like you're failing someone who sacrificed everything for you." Hugh paused, his eyes growing glassy. "When Dad was diagnosed, I was filming in Romania. The doctor said we had time, but dementia doesn't follow schedules. 2 weeks in, he wandered from his facility and was missing 8 hours. They found him at our old home, trying to get in because he thought my mother was inside. She'd been dead 10 years. The studio was silent, as Hugh continued sharing details never spoken publicly. "I wanted to fly home immediately, but Dad made me promise not to disrupt work for his illness. He was proud of my career, always bragging about his movie star son. But when I got home 3 weeks later, he didn't remember me. The man who taught me rugby, attended every school play, drove me to auditions as a broke kid, looked at me like a stranger." Hugh's voice cracked slightly. "I spent the next 2 years trying to make up for those lost weeks, but the guilt nearly destroyed me. I learned that caring for someone with dementia isn't about being perfect. It's about being present when you can be, advocating fiercely for their dignity, and finding the right support when you can't be everything they need." Sarah stared at Hugh in disbelief. This man she had admired from afar was describing her exact experience, validating feelings she thought she was alone in carrying. Ellen watched this extraordinary moment unfold, recognizing that sometimes television becomes a sacred space where real healing can happen. "Hugh, what did you learn from that experience?" Hugh's eyes glistened as he spoke. "I learned that caring for someone with dementia isn't about being perfect. It's about being present when you can be, and finding the right support when you can't be. Sarah, you're not failing your mother. You're fighting for her with everything you have, and that takes incredible courage." "But I feel so guilty," Sarah sobbed. "She raised me by herself after my father died. She worked 3 jobs to put me through nursing school. She deserves better than this." Ellen reached into her blazer pocket and pulled out her personal business card, the one she reserved for moments that mattered most. "Sarah, this has my direct number on it. Not my assistant's, not my publicist's, mine. I want you to call me tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. because I know people who specialize in exactly this situation. My foundation works with several organizations that provide sliding-scale care for families in your position." Ellen's voice grew stronger, more determined. But more than that, I want you to know that what you're going through, what you're feeling, it's not just valid, it's heroic. You're living proof that love isn't just about the good times. You're showing up every single day for someone who might not remember your name, but who feels your love in ways we can't even measure. But Hugh wasn't finished. He reached into his jacket and pulled out his own phone, scrolling through his contacts with purpose. "Sarah, I'm going to give you the number of someone who literally saved my family. Her name is Dr. Maria Santos, and she runs the best dementia care advocacy program on the West Coast. She helped us navigate the labyrinth of insurance, Medicare, legal guardianship, and finding care facilities that weren't just warehouses, but actual homes where Dad could live with dignity." Hugh held up his phone so Sarah could see the contact information clearly. Dr. Santos has a team of social workers, elder law attorneys, and care coordinators who work together to find solutions that families can actually afford. They helped us understand that there are programs available, grants for working families, even some facilities that operate on income-based sliding scales. He paused, looking directly into Sarah's eyes. "More than that, I want to cover your mother's care for the next 6 months while we work with Dr. Santos to find a sustainable, long-term solution." That's not charity, Sarah. That's one family that's been through this hell helping another family that's going through it now. Dad would have wanted me to use his memory to help people like you. Sarah stared at the phone, completely overwhelmed by the generosity of two strangers who saw value in her struggle when she couldn't see it herself. "There's something else," Ellen said, turning to address the camera directly. "Sarah represents millions of people who are caring for aging parents while trying to maintain their own lives and careers. This is one of the greatest challenges facing our generation, and we need to talk about it openly." She looked back at Sarah. "You're not just a daughter caring for her mother. You're a nurse who saves lives every day. The compassion that makes you fight so hard for your mom is the same compassion that makes you an incredible caregiver to your patients. Don't underestimate the importance of what you do." Hugh nodded emphatically. "Ellen's absolutely right. Sarah, you're a hero twice over, once for the lives you save at work, and once for the dignity you're fighting to preserve for your mother." The audience erupted in applause, not the polite television kind, but the deep, heartfelt recognition of witnessing something authentic and transformative. People were on their feet, many wiping away their own tears as they thought about their own aging parents and the challenges that lay ahead. Ellen stood up and hugged Sarah tightly. "This is why we do what we do," she whispered, though the microphones caught her words. "Not for the entertainment, but for moments like this when we remember that we're all just trying to take care of the people we love." 6 months later, Sarah's mother Maria was thriving in a specialized memory care facility that Hugh's advocacy had helped them discover. The Golden Years Memory Center's sliding scale payment program, combined with assistance from Ellen's Foundation and Medicare programs that Dr. Santos helped navigate, made quality care possible without financial ruin. Maria participated in music therapy, art classes, and formed friendships with residents. The facility focused on maintaining dignity and finding joy within disease constraints rather than simply managing decline. Sarah started a support group for adult children caring for dementia parents, meeting monthly at the facility. The group grew from 3 to over 40 attendees, all learning their feelings of inadequacy and grief were shared by millions facing impossible choices. Hugh sent a video message to their first meeting. "Caring for someone with dementia teaches you that love isn't just about good times. It's about showing up in hard moments and honoring who they were while accepting who they've become." Ellen attended regularly, not as a celebrity but understanding that important conversations happen when cameras stop rolling. The support group became more than venting frustrations, sharing practical resources and the understanding that they were good children making impossible choices with unlimited love, because sometimes the most powerful moments happen when we stop performing and start caring. When we realize that behind every successful person is someone who needs help, and behind every problem is a community ready to provide it.